Okay, so one of the things you guys have told me you wanted to learn about was how to implement scrolling. So I'm going to, let's see, create a new scenario here. Call it scrolling. And I found this great big image that I picked out just because it's big and it looks like it might be a scene that somebody could walk along, but you'll figure out what's a good image for you. Let me just save this. Save image as. Let me see if I can go into my demo scrolling, and it's got to be in this images folder, right? And this is a long name, so I'm just going to call it big background. Alright, I'm going to save that. Okay, so now if I go back to my project, let's see, make war a subclass, and let's call it scrolling world. So if I stick this guy in as my image right now and compile it, actually I only see a portion of it because the default size for this world is like 600 by 400. So I could, stick in some bigger numbers. Let's see, the actual image itself is 1920 by 1200. So I could, just to show you, if I said 1920 by 1200 and compile that, then I get this enormous thing that won't even fit in my window that I'm demonstrating on. But you can see it's got these scroll bars in here, and but not really what we want. We'd rather have like a 600. I'm going to set it back to be a 600 by 400 and make it so we can scroll in it. So let's compile, and let me resize this thing. Get it back in my Alright. Okay, so so what do we need to do? Well, there's you can manipulate the background images in Greenfoot by using the Greenfoot image class. So let's take a look at that for a second. So if we look at Greenfoot image, one of the things that you're allowed to do is to actually draw image, this draw image thing. And notice that there are these parameters. Besides the actual image itself, there are these XY parameters. So if we click on that and look at it, this will draw the given image onto whatever image object you have here. But what it does is it uses the image, right, to draw into this one, and then you draw on the X or Y coordinates for the drawing image. So let's look at what that means for a second here. So what we could do is actually let's grab the yeah, let's actually, so what we need to do is we need to kind of we can, if we do a get background, we can get the background image and then draw on that. So let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So with world, what you can do is you can say get background, and that returns a Greenfoot image for you. Okay, so it's the background image that we want to draw into. All right, so it's this guy that we want to draw into. So let's see. Let's go into scrolling world, and well, let's start by creating that image, and then we'll draw that image into the background. So let's create a private Greenfoot image, and we'll call it scrolling image. How about that? Okay, and then because this is the image that's gonna scroll when we move our character around the screen. And so then what we can do is here in our constructor. So the constructor, remember, that's what happens when the world first gets created. We could say scrolling image equals what? Well, we need to create a Greenfoot image with our file. Remember we called it big background.jpg. So that's our file. So we're going to create a new Greenfoot image there. And then let's see, just to show you actually what that would look like, then if we say get background, so get background, remember, is a method, so you need those parentheses. It's a method that gets the background for this world that we're in. And then on that, we're going to use dot notation because we're going to, on that image now that we've got that image, we can call the draw image method on that image and draw our scrolling image. Okay, so the default is 0, 0. So let me just show you what that looks like. If you just say 0, 0 and compile that. Oh, maybe I got it wrong here. What did I do? Could not find the file. Oh my, did I spell it wrong? Let's see. Control copy. Oh yeah, I said JP instead of JPEG. Not cool. Alright. Let's try it again. I'm gonna you can always clear this terminal window if you hold down the control key on Windows machine or the command key on the Mac and then press the K. I just like to clear that off just to make sure that if I do get another message that it's a new message and not just an old one. So let's try compiling now and see what happens. Alright, close this terminal window here. And let's see what we got. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so nothing exciting, right? It's back where it was. But what we can do is we can manipulate this. Like if I said make it 40 and 60, okay, so now the X and the Y are changing, so it's drawing the image into a new position. And actually, well, let me show it to you for a second, and then we'll talk about it. So what has happened here? Oh, actually, I think what I want to do, I think it'd be clearer if I make sure, if I draw this with no image initially, okay, and then now you can see. So what's happening here is that we said draw image 4060. So we said draw into this image, but start with 40 in the x direction and 60 in the y direction. So it actually, if you use positive numbers, it kind of pushes things in. So if we want to move, so that's not how we want to scroll, right? But if we want to go the other way, we could say, like, I don't know, like, let's say minus 40 and minus 400, say. Oh, 4,000 is too much. Okay, so now we're down a little bit farther. So how do we get exactly, though, where we want, how do we navigate and figure out where we are with this stuff? So, well, I kind of do want to actually start with x all the way over at 0. But what I'd like to do for y is maybe, what I could do is, if I get the height of the if I get the height of the world, that's the actual height, that's the distance from here to here. That's this height, right? And then if I subtract off the height of the image, our scrolling image, so what do I call it? Yeah, scrolling image, and dot get height on that. And notice I'm using get height in two different ways here. So this get height refers to the world that I'm in. Notice there's no dot notation because we're not talking to some other object. We're talking to the world that we're in right now. Okay, but if we want to get the height of the scrolling image, then we have to ask the scrolling image for its height. So if I say get height minus, see, that gives me the negative number because the height of this screen, right, is smaller than the height of the entire image itself. So that's going to shoot us up to where I think I want to be. Yeah. So now I can see the the ground, and then when I get my character, I can always make him move up into the sky if I want, or over that way. But anyway, that's the initial setup, and then we'll talk about the steps we need to take to actually get the guy moving in the world and making sure we're not moving off out of the world and stuff like that.